You just need to learn to utilize the vocab that you already know in a way that allows you to express more. Welcome to Quirky French Podcast, the podcast that helps you speak more confidently, feel more focused, and be more in control of your French learning journey. Prêt? C'est parti! Bonjour, bonjour, and welcome to episode 14 of Quirky French Podcast, the podcast that will help you develop conversation skills and boost your confidence in French. I'm your host Naima from quirkyfrench.com, and today we're doing another interactive episode. So today is all about expanding your vocabulary in a quirky little way. I'm going to show you how you can expand your vocabulary and get your point across efficiently with this 5-minute vocab workout. And what's so unique about this workout is that you're going to expand your vocabulary, you're going to learn how to say more things, but you won't be learning any more vocabulary. Okay, so let's get started. How to expand your vocabulary and how to boost your fluency with this easy 5-minute workout. Okay, so just to clarify, when we talk about fluency, we're really talking about this ability to get your point across. It doesn't necessarily mean that your French is going to be perfect. It's really about expressing yourself, getting your point across, communicating your idea, and making yourself understood. The thing is, when you get to that intermediate level, you are expected to express your point, efficiently. You also need to develop compensation skills, the skills and the techniques, the strategies to get your point across in spite of a lack of vocabulary, finding a way around your lack of vocabulary. And this is what we're going to be doing today. Okay, so I want you to think of your vocabulary as your clothes in your wardrobe. Okay, and instead of trying to buy more clothes, I'm going to show you how you can use 100% of your current clothes and actually have more outfits and being able to make more outfits by combining all of those clothes differently. So this is the little analogy that I want you to keep in mind. You just need to learn to utilize the vocab that you already know in a way that allows you to express more. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't learn any vocab. You do want to develop more vocabulary. So yes, go on and learn more vocabulary. That's all good, but it's really about learning to make the most of the vocab you already have. And really, as a nervous learner, if your mind goes blank or if you start to freeze or if you have any kind of communication breakdown, you need to train yourself to create new language patterns when you speak and to find solutions to express yourself effectively. Okay, so let's start with the workout. So the idea is pretty simple. There's going to be 3 stages. Stage 1, I'm going to give you a word and you just have to define that word. Okay, so for the sake of this episode, I'm going to be giving you a little timer, like a little time limit, perhaps let's say 20 seconds. Okay. But when you're at home, when you're just practicing on your own, you don't necessarily need to put a time limit, at least in the beginning stage, but you can do as you get more and more used to doing this exercise. It's actually great to incorporate a time limit. Very basic. I'll give you a word. You just have to give me the definition. So for example, if I say the word chair, you can just say that it's a piece of furniture and that you sit on it. It's pretty basic. Okay. But of course, that's going to be all in French. So you have 20 seconds to answer, and then we'll move on to the following stage. Starting with the first word that I'm going to give you. Chapeau. Un chapeau. The timer starts now. Time's up. Okay, so well done. And I hope you had a nice little definition that you were able to find within the time limit. Now moving on to stage 2. We're going to do the same thing, same game. And you're actually going to define chapeau again, but this time you have to find another way to describe the word. And the key here is that you can't use the same keywords or phrases. Okay, so if I'm going back to the chair example, and I said earlier that it's a piece of furniture and that we sit on it, now I'm going to have to find different words to express the same thing. Now I can say that it's a type of seat and that I am resting on it as I speak right now. So you have to be really careful. Don't use the same keywords, okay? So we're going to do it again. So give yourself 20 seconds to find another way to describe the word chapeau. Timer starts now. Time's up. Well done. And now we're going to do stage 3. So again, for the third time, define chapeau using different words. Timer starts now. Time's up. Well done again. How was this the third time? The third time was probably really challenging, to be honest. So 20 seconds is probably really hard. But again, it's really just so that you get the idea, because you may need a little bit more time to do it when you're practicing on your own. So if this wasn't hard enough, we're actually going to raise the bar and make it even harder, because the word chapeau is pretty, it's pretty basic and it's really tangible. We're talking about an object. Now, we're going to talk about something a little bit harder to define. And I'm going to move to, less tangible things that you need to define. So we're going to do it again with word number 2, okay? So word number 2 is the word perdu, like je suis perdu. Okay, 20 seconds, timer starts now. Thumbs up. I hope that this was kind of fun also to start defining words that are a little bit more challenging like that. We're immediately going to move on to stage 2 because I don't want you to cheat and to start to think of another definition. So again, define the word perdu using completely different words. Timer starts now. Time's up. Félicitations. How was it this time? I hope that you're kind of warming up, because we're not even going to wait a little bit and we're going to go straight to stage 3. Again, using different words. You've got 20 seconds to define perdu. Timer starts now. Time's up. Well done. Bravo. I hope that you're starting to, feel your brain kind of warming up a little bit, because this is hard. And I hope that you're starting to get the benefits from this exercise, because by changing every single time the types of words that you use, it really forces yourself to create new possibilities, new patterns, and new combinations that allow you to express the same idea. And it's an amazing workout. But we're not done just yet. We're going to move to word number 3, okay? And again, we're going to raise the bar with something even more challenging, because now we're going to talk about some abstract concepts, okay? Starting with word number 3. You have 20 seconds to explain the word liberté, as in la liberté, okay? Timer starts now. Time's up. Again, well done. Bravo. Bien joué. We're going to move on to stage 2. So now, with different words, different key phrases, define liberté again. Timer starts now. Time's up. Super, bravo. And immediately after, let's move to stage 3. Using different words, define la liberté. Timer starts now. Time's up. Excellent. Again, well done. This is a brilliant exercise. I hope you really did it, and that I'm not just, talking on my own, and that you're not just waiting for the timer to go up. But yeah, that's a really, really good exercise, and it really forces you to use all of your vocab to express ideas. Now, what's the whole purpose of this exercise? Well, this exercise comes in really handy for days where you're actually trying to express yourself and you are missing the word. You'll be able to find ways to define and to express, to convey the meaning efficiently, but it will also help you be prepared psychologically, because you will have trained yourself to deal with those situations. And that exercise is not commonly taught. So by doing this regularly, you'll also be prepared psychologically. You'll know how to handle this, the pressure of having to find ways around your lack of vocabulary. Now, here's your homework. Practice doing this every day for the next 30 days. And this is going to boost your fluency, boost your confidence in an amazing way. The other thing I would suggest is that from now on, when you learn a new word, try not to write the English translation at all. Write down the new French word, and then in your own words, write the definition in French. And then you can also write a synonym or an example of your definition. So that's going to help you with your fluency. But the hidden benefit to that is that now you'll start to think in French, because your definitions are going to be in French, your examples are going to be in French. But of course, all of that depends on your level. I think from an intermediate level, you can definitely start to do that progressively. Even if you need to, write the definitions in French, followed by an English translation, that's okay too. But I think it's important that you start doing that. That's going to help you tremendously. Okay, and this is how it's going to benefit you on the long run for actual situations in real life when you're having conversations. All of those tips right here will help you develop compensation skills. So this is it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to find out how you did. If you've got questions, leave a little comment and I'll make sure to reply. And again, if you like the sound of this podcast, it would mean so much if you took a couple of minutes to rate it. You can find the podcast on Spotify, and this will really help me identify what you like the most and prepare even more content like that for the future. So if you have a moment, I would really appreciate if you considered doing that. But this is it for today. I hope that you have an amazing week and that you enjoy this little workout. And I'm already looking forward to catching up with you next week for another episode of Quickie French Podcast. In the meantime, as always, keep learning, keep growing, and keep it quirky. Allez, très bon week-end et à la semaine prochaine. Salut!